No. Hi. Let me make sure. No. It is working. Fuck yeah, let's go. I'm so sorry for all the tech tips. You have to forgive me for all that shit. Um, I had music queued up. I had everything ready. And I'm sorry for the angle and all of that shit. And you guys didn't have to deal with some lighting. Late start because Tech Div, Sadie Jumper, I saw you come in. I see you. And I'm sorry that you couldn't see me. I just I streams the whole last trip, but it's a good trip, man. I mean, I'm learning a lot. Trust me. And now I'm not like, oh, where the fuck am I going when I'm doing shit? Now I'm just like, do that fucking shit. Now you give me Discord or anything else, and I'm like, I don't know. I've got like 4 servers because I was trying to set up one server, and no, let's just not do that. Let's not talk about that. And because I had such a shitty day, I don't even, not even a shitty day. Okay, I never have a shitty day. That does not happen. What happened was I had some good ass tunes, and I'm playing Apex tonight, so the tunes are going to be popping off along with my mouth. So if you want to be a part of that, I would love to have you come along for that ride. I cannot even believe I'm gonna fucking play Apex again. I have boycotted that game. First it was like 3 months, and now it's been like maybe like July is the last time I played Apex. And I'm sure when I get on there I'm gonna be like, oh, what are we doing? Why did I do that shit? But right now, doll art. Doll art, doll art. Obviously, it's late. I can't do the varnish on Bliss that we were working on. But what I can do is, give me a second. Sorry, I've got to queue up some tunes. I'm gonna work on this. I'm gonna work on the teeth a little bit, and then this is not going to be a very long doll art stream. And then I'm going to probably work on some veining on Bliss. So that's what we're doing. I appreciate all of the followers that came in that I have now. I am so thankful for you, and just appreciate you being here. Thank you for that. I'm so ready to play games. I honestly wasn't going to do doll art after the stream went down, so there's that. But I'm going to put up some tunes, and we're going to vibe out and do. Hold up. I know what I'm doing. Give me a second. My ADHD brain is all over the place. Look, I don't know if you can see that, but Miss Kitty, I have songs for you. So if you're in my stream, let me know. And I have Miss Kitty songs for you that I thought were cute. That I thought we could vibe to. So that'll be fun. That'll be fun. Let's do this one. Let's do like something upbeat. Or no, that one would not be the best. Let's let's do this one. This one's more doll art vibes. Okay. So oh, I'm pausing. So just give me a minute. Get myself together. I'm gonna be streaming later tonight too. Um, maybe a little earlier tonight. I'm not sure. It just depends on how that goes. I'm going to be streaming games, but now we're going to work on, and I am going to change the view of the camera so that you can. He's not that. That is not all dark. Sorry. When he's all done, my lighting went out at the worst time. Both of my laptops went out at the worst times. One of them screen busted, like it got stepped on. The other one won't even turn on. So we're gonna do that. So I'm gonna use a little bit of white, And I actually cleaned out my palettes, which is also what took me so long. I have to get that water out of there because it is not distilled, and the paints I'm using is specifically distilled water. We are going to use, jeez, I'm sorry for all of the background stuff on this little thing. So I'm going to go ahead and change that view a little bit. And I'm sorry you can't see that as well, but the lighting, yeah, it went out. One of my lights burnt out, so I am definitely working towards that right now, saving up for that. So I'm going to use white, and for this I'm going to use either anti-bead or blend flow, whatever is going to keep me where I don't have to use water. I just need something a little thicker, and I'm out of the blend flow, and I'm just I settled down over there, whatever's falling around and shit. Anti-bead. It is just what it says, anti-bead. So, I'm sorry for that lighting. I hope it's not bothering anyone too much. If it is, let me know. I might could angle it just a little bit different. And grab this right quick. Nowhere. I'm going down. I'm gonna grab white. The thing about the teeth is, in between our teeth, they're like, you would not paint all of his teeth. Let's see if I can grab that light a little different. No, there's just too many shadows, and I'm sorry for that. But his little teeth, see how I've done? You don't just paint it all white. It's really slow, thin layers, and then you'll do creases. And the creases, I don't know. I do mine probably a little way different than other artists. What I do for the creases, depending on the ethnicity that I'm working with, or whatever, skin tones, undertones, all of that play into that crease color, and even the mottling and layers, how many layers you're doing. I love the eyebrows that I did on Bliss. I'm always so nervous. Like, you get the paint done and you're like, oh shit, it's time for eyebrows. Like, that's gonna be a rough go. I'm just a perfectionist at heart, and I just keep trying to try and um make it better and better and better, even if it's already perfect. I'll be like, okay, that looks really good. That's about done. Let me see what else. What else can I do? And that's not. When you get to that point where you're like, no, thanks. Or, I mean, it's perfect. Then, and you're asking like, what else could I add? I really like the look of it, and if you're happy and the person that is your client and the mama or the daddy of this little one that they're adopting, then you definitely are good. As long as you know you did your best, that's what matters. Just be honest in what you're doing with your work, and make sure you're being honest with your clients. Me, I'm totally honest, and I'll go to bat for my clients. I've gotten a hold of the owners of companies over flaws in the kits. And let me just say, I got a hold of Esther from Irresistibles. Yeah, Esther, I'm just gonna say it, I love you, girl. She I just had some flaws. It's German vinyl. It's just the factory molds. You just have certain flaws, right? And I just was like, man, there could be there could be less flaws. So I got up, anyways. I contacted Esther and I was like, hey, look, there's a problem with the kit. She made it right. She sent me another kit, the parts, like we talked about it, and then I got another discount on another kit. Plus, she sent me like some free paints and all of this stuff to try with the heat set. My oven is not working, so I'm working with the heat set. Plus, hearing about all of the what I'm trying to find the words, the health issues that were going on with the Genesis, particularly. But there's tons of other options out there now. Everybody's coming out with their own stuff, irresistible stuff. I know for a fact, I've tried it. I IHRSP. Did I say that right? IRHSP. That there it is. Irresistible heat set paints. They're really good. Esther is amazing to work with. You should go check out her store, irresistibles.com. She is the bomb.com as well. So, anyways, I just do. She made it right for my client, and so like I'll go to bat. You know what I'm saying? I'll wherever I'm needed. Like if I'm needed, like to go get this kit, if I can't get a hold of somebody, I'm gonna call about a look. Let me talk to this person on Facebook. Let me find you. I'm gonna find you, and I'm gonna ask you questions and see about if you can help me or not, because I can't be having all that for my clients. They pay good money to have what they want, right? Like we all do that when we get something. We don't want something that's flawed. Who would want that? Wouldn't you be so upset? And then it takes such a long time. The specific client that I'm working with right now, I'm not going to name her because I don't know if she would appreciate that on camera. But she is the most patient, kind, loving human being. Let me say one of the entire community. I don't know about anybody else's people. My people are the best. My stream people, my stream team, they're the best. And Insomniac gang out there. And then, just everybody that I've come across so far, my followers, they're the best. I appreciate everybody that's been here for me and that is here for me now. Okay, so if you are painting and you are going to be painting along with the newborn, you're going to need some toothpicks for sure. If you don't know what you need and you would like to paint along, thank you for the lurk, Master Chachi. I appreciate you. I see you. I appreciate that. If you are painting along with me, then you will need toothpicks as well as paints, a palette, some cosmetic wedges, latex free. Make sure you're using, if you're going to get latex wet, I'm trying to hold my tongue. If you are getting wedges, they need to be latex free, especially if you're going to work with heat set. There's something about that latex that interacts with the paint really weird. I have had it like the varnish or the what is it, thinning medium for the heat set. It would like ball up, and that's how I knew I was having latex in my sponges. And when I say cosmetic wedges, let me show you that I failed. Here's the ones I was using last time, which I'll be using again today. These little, I get them at the Dollar General because I know that these ones are absolutely latex free. I've gone to Walmart and used their latex free ones, and those are some of the ones that made them ball up. Plus the big bag that you can get on Amazon, that's a really good price. That's why it's a really good price, because there's latex in those. I did have, I do have I have like bags of them everywhere because I just pick up one here and there. They're like $1.25, $1.65. It's really not expensive to do this. If you want to start out and you want to practice, you can use apple barrel paints from Walmart. Those Those ones, and if you wanted to sell that, you could just sell it as a budget baby. I don't specifically use Apple Barrel, but I've tried it. I'm not gonna lie, I've tried it, and it works. And then the folk art, I was starting to work with that before and I liked the coverage that you got with just one or two or three applications. Um, I have been painting these for about 7 years almost, so I've tried a lot. And I also used let me see if I can find one of them. This top drawer is full of acrylic paints, folk art, every color almost except for the fluorescence yet. But I was using these. I got them either at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. Someone actually got them for me for Christmas. I do like them. The problem with these is the opacity with the red and stuff is a lot. And I did not get to test that light steadfastness, but I have not had anyone get a hold of me. And light steadfastness, that is when whether it fades in the sun and what is the fade, like how's that ratio. And it is important to keep your dolls out of the sun. Like if you have them, don't leave them out and laying about. You don't know what people are using unless you know the artist, right? And you can't trust everybody that's out there. And if it's like $50, $60 and it looks too good to be true, just know that it is. Please, you're going to get what you pay for. There are so many fake kits going around. Stolen sculpts is what we call them. I do not support that on any level. That is another artist's work. What I'm doing right now is I got a little bit of that white in the gums, so I'm taking the toothpick and I'm just kind of getting it out of there before it's completely cured. And I do have, um, it's an Ultimate Fusion, like, eraser pen. This thing is great. It's the only thing I've known that will take the acrylic. But it'll take it straight down to the vinyl, so you have to be really careful when you're using it if you decide to get it. Again, that's the Ultimate Fusion, it's for highly pigmented concentrated paint. And I use it mainly I used it on the lips here a couple of times, and then I'll use it when I'm painting hair, which I absolutely love that. So if I'm not talking when I'm painting it, it's because, and I will try to have a different camera view so that you will be able to actually see the head, not on this one, but on the little baby. Okay, so I think the teeth might be good. And if you're trying to get some tips and you're here, I appreciate all of you being here. Just make sure if you see any type of little lamp pieces or anything like that, grab them off real quick and gently, you don't want that to get stuck in your paint. It's a pain in the butt. It is definitely a pain in the butt. Okay. And then I'm still unsure about these gums. I think I like them. The key to the realism part of it is those really thin translucent layers. And then, as Sue Ellen Taormina, she will say the devil is in the details, and that is absolutely true. Daredevil in the details. Make sure you're, doing your last look, doing your checks, and making sure everything is blended seamlessly so that you do have that realistic look. The moment you put everything on too thick, you lose that realism, like immediately. And me, I know when I'm losing the realism, and I'm still like, sorry about that, and I'm still like, okay, I can fix that. And then my gut all whole time telling me, like, my core always talking to me, telling me like, nah, you need to stop. Like, you're doing too much, girl. You're doing too much. So you have to listen to that. I am going to use that pen because I did get a tiny bit of white on those lips. And then I'm going to immediately take that sponge and just kind of blend that area a little bit. His little lips are so cute. This one's going to be Hold on, give me 2 seconds. I'm almost there. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. I'm almost there. Because it's fucking crazy. Sorry, it's my language. Give me a minute. You're not gonna hear me. I don't know if you can because everything is really low on my end. I don't know if you can. For that. That is my struggle right now. I am working with three mobiles, and what happened is the one overheated, and I've never had that happen before. That's so crazy, but it happened. And then moving on, like whatever. Don't let that type of little things get you down. If you want to stream or you want to paint or you want to do it, do what you can. Just like believe you're gonna work it out and it's gonna happen. And my audio might be all crazy right now. I don't know. I really let me turn that down first of all. Wait. Okay. So the teeth, the white part, it's pretty good. On these little ones, when they're of course getting their first teeth, they're really white. Like right, they're really like bright. Give me your teeth. Let me have those white teeth. So Bliss teeth look great. I like to use a little brush, and this one has like a little curve to it, so I can get the tops of those teeth. Son of a gun. There I go. That's why I need a lot of goddamn, a lot of. Where's my damn toothpicks? Shit. It's hard on the top of those teeth. It's hard to use that little tool. So I did get that on the top, on that tongue and underneath, and I don't want that. I don't mind it getting a little bit around the gums where the teeth are coming through and up here because I use a little bit of white anyways in that area, which I'm going to put some right now. And the reason you do that is because those gums, if you look at little ones' gums, you don't use a lot. And then take a dry brush. I hope I didn't, nope, not that one. I use that for, I'm going to use one of these stiff bristles and just kind of pounce that in and move it around. Those gums,
are going to be lighter, of course. And again, you want to make sure it's blended, and you can do that with a brush. I use makeup brushes on some of this stuff. Like I literally went and grabbed some of my makeup brushes that were brand new and was like, these are good. These will work. Great brand. I used to have a couple online businesses. I used to work with Unique, YOUNIQUE. Their shit is hands down tits. Hey, you better knock it. That's my little pirate. She lost her eye on the 4th of July. Okay, see, I did get some on the inside of that lip, and I don't want that. So this, you just add some water to that. The good thing about that anti-bead and the blend flow, which again, I'm out of that, it allows that paint to not dry as quickly as it normally would. This motherfucker. Okay, so I don't know what that's on there for, one. And second, have to use damn pliers to get that. No, this is not pliers, but dang. Come on now, Alt Fusion. No, I can't talk any crap. Actually, the owner, the lady, Lisa, that made these paints, she passed away during COVID stuff that was going on. Which is really sad. She was super sweet, I hear, and all of that. Hey! Stop interrupting right now. You're not allowed to do that. You come in when I'm playing games. That's fine. Okay, what I do, put that cap on there and let that drain out, because if you have a lot of water that you're going to be working around, you need to, yeah, you can't do that, period. I don't know what I was going to say. You don't need to anything. You need to just let it drain in the cap for a second, and then you can dump that cap and move on. Dab it out with on some like paper towels. What I use, those puppy pads. I do have these. These are really good when you are using heat set oil paints. You can just, whatever you want, you dab it off on there and then move on. With acrylics, the difference I have found that I don't enjoy the most is when whatever little dust floaties might be floating around in your house, those will stick to that. So I try to make sure I run an air filter and I have animals, so I vacuum a lot. My animals are not around my dolls. They don't. My cat, well, my son's cat, he used to lay with those babies, and I had to be like, I know you love them, but you cannot. And Hazel, my big dog, which I'm sure you'll see her sometimes on cam, she would actually, as a puppy when she was tiny, she would get up in the bouncer with the dolls and just cuddle up with them, and it was so cute. I have pictures, so yeah, I'm not a bunch of lies or anything. Okay, that seems to be it. Did its thing. Jelly bean, jelly bean. So I'm just gonna take that flat end of this very lightly, like feather touch along the inside of that lip, because you're gonna hear me say feather touch a lot, because especially when painting hair, you're going to light as a feather, just kind of touch it light as a feather with that paintbrush. And the more you practice, if you want to learn to paint hair with me when I'm doing this doll, the more you practice on whatever, a doll arm, a doll leg. I have tons of practice stuff. I just I have tons of arms with eyebrows and whatever all over them. Just getting that muscle memory down, and so when you start painting hair, you'll just like wisp. Make your little noises if you have to. I do that sometimes. Or like I'll find myself and you'll see me holding my breath a lot. When I'm doing eyebrows or doing hair and trying to get those tiny lines or like the creases, I'm holding my breath because I find it steadies my hand. And then I hold my breath so much painting, I find myself holding my breath in real life. So um, make sure you're like doing your research on the ergonomics of things, which is just like, rooting has that like ergonomics. It's um how do I explain that? It's basically how you should do something to keep yourself healthy and keep your, you know, you won't be hunched over. You keep yourself posture checked and just a bunch of stuff. So there is a video on YouTube, I believe Custom Doll Baby, her videos, hands down. I love those videos. And there's actually a few. I'm not gonna just say Custom Doll Baby, but I'm gonna say Custom Doll Baby today because we're talking about that. She has a video about the ergonomics of like rooting and then other really good tips and tricks along the way, like stuff that I forget to do, just like movements with your hands. You don't want to, you're holding a paintbrush all day, you're rooting with that needle, you don't want to get carpal tunnel. Like move your wrists around, and like there's a rule with when you're painting and you're close up like that, what you want to do, if you want to paint for 20 minutes and then look at something 20 feet away for 20 seconds. um, that's not a long time, but it does break it up. I have a bad habit of hyper focusing on what I'm doing so much that I will think it's been like 30, 45 minutes. It's been 4 hours. And that is no joke. This is my passion. I love doing this. I love streaming. That's my passion. I love connecting with people. And I love just spreading that happiness to those little corners of the world where someone might be down. You just want to be like, come here and let me hug you. You know, just bring it in. Right? Um, so I already have the teeth, the little creases done in the teeth. We are not going to seal this one tonight, but we are going to start the veining process on the little one just so you can see like how I mix that paint and where to start. And then probably won't get through all of those right now. It just depends on, sometimes it does what it wants. Sometimes these kids act up. I'm not playing, they just do. Each one has their own thing. I'll be like, okay, we're cool. That process went so smooth, but then at the very end, like Bliss, I almost have it. Actually, we're gonna do that again. If you were with me last time, I'm sorry I didn't get on this morning. I've had a lot going on. I actually just made the stream team on Doc Sleep's channel, and I'm super stoked for that. Like, I still can't even believe it. Insomniac gang, I'm super hyped. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Let's go. Um, I wasn't sure if you guys could hear me at first, so I was trying to type in that chat, but I'm using the pastel blue because, again, you want to use the opposite of the color wheel. And if you've already finished a doll, you're going to want to use, unless it's a big area, like those pastels, just to get it back to where you wanted it. Bliss is just about there. He had a spot where he might have leaned up against another part and it pulled that paint, which is something that I'm finding I'm confused about with the Ultimate Fusion. I am newer to using the Ultimate Fusion, but I am doing my best with that. Um, I am going to, I was going to use golden, not golden, I keep saying that. It must be that I'm supposed to buy golden. But Liquitex. I want to try Liquitex. I hear good things about it. I also hear good things about golden. We all find our own way and we all do it how we can in whatever our budget is. No way is the wrong way. Everybody has their own way, so don't think that just because you don't have Ultimate Fusion or you can't afford like all of the stuff, like it's fine. It takes a moment to build everything up. You don't need it all at once. Just get your basic stuff. Make sure that you have these blending sponges, some paint brushes, some paints. I will actually do a video and I will go over and have all the things out on what you would need if you were trying to paint your own reborn. Or however, I'm also going to do some stuff on here that some people might not vibe with, and that's going to be the alternative side of these. I do the scarier side, or the what people consider scary or creepy or whatnot. It's fun. And I love doing it. I love, as I call it, fucking shit up. I love fucking shit up. I love doing this too. I love these little ones. However, I do like to do my own thing with that. So I'm going to use a toothpick again. Another toothpick because I don't know what I did with that other one. Here it is. And just go between the teeth and make sure I don't have any white between those teeth. What I'm going to do though, which actually we could do that right now. I'm going to mix up a crease color and use that between the teeth. I'm going to use red, blue and red. And mix that up. Actually, I might just use some red. Nope. We don't need much blue. Blue is really pigmented, so I'm putting all of this in the palette. Like, I have the white right here. I'm going to put the blue over here on the other side so I don't mix none of those. And the reason why we're doing red and blue, that's the colors I used for the lips. This is called a cool red. If you're using a little bit of blue in the red, we don't need much of any of it. We're just doing a very tiny little bit. And what I'm going to do again is probably, I am so almost out of these. I'm going to use not Blend Flow, that other stuff. My bad. My brain just glitched out for a second. We're going to use the Anti-Bead that I had used. Those little plastic baggies, believe it or not, they come in handy. I have art stuff everywhere. It's like an art explosion in my room. Yes, I do work from my room. For now. Only for now. For now. I'm trying to work on buying a house. We are currently trying to figure that part of life out. And I will have an extra room that I will be using for paint. Actually, what I'm working towards, I'm having my ass a she shed. Whoa. And I don't know what that was. I'm going to be using that. And then the extra room, I will be using that as a nursery to set up. I have like 2 changing tables, 2 bassinets. Well, one is a bassinet, one's a swinging cradle. And then 2 bum bouncer and a swing. So, and then out in my storage, I have stuff like stroller, pack and play, and I did have some car seats. I think I donated those because, you know, when you see someone in need that needs that stuff, why are you using it? If you can donate it, why not? I'll get one that's expired or something. And trust me, I just used mine. I didn't use it as much as I used to. I use it for picture purposes. Did I just do that? I just put water in that. That is not what I meant to do. Okay, good. Let me grab one of these. These are good for wiping out the palettes. With acrylics, I either rinse them right away. If I don't, I will take them in there and clean them out with some rubbing alcohol. 90 proof. 91% actually is what I use. And there's certain brands, they're like, oh, we're 91%. No, you're not. I've been doing this for a long time. You are not. Things got different after COVID. So like the Rexall brand from Dollar General is not what they say it is. The Walmart brand absolutely is. The Equate brand is really good at not being a bunch of lies. So I've got it in my hand. I'm like, wait, where's my stuff? What did I just do? Did I get the wrong thing? Here it is. I grabbed the white. I was wondering why I had the white in my hand. I'm just going to put a couple of drops of that Anti-Bead in. I do what I want. Other artists might be like, what is she doing? Why is she doing it like that? I don't know, because I can. Do it your way. That's what I know. And other artists actually don't come at you like that. They might, you have those people that are like, oh, that's not how you do it. Some people will say this. I don't say that about other people. Like, everybody has their way. I do it my way. I find it really hard to follow someone else's instructions. But it's not that I don't think they're doing the right thing. Okay, so now I am going to add a little drop of water, but just one. And it's going to give me the consistency that I like. And then, I'm going to get a drop, just a tiny little dab of blue. I'm going to get that with the freaking toothpick. And I'm just going to stick it in the lid. Hey, watch where you're swinging your thing there, paintbrush. Don't get on that kit. You know what I mean? Swinging that thing around. Okay. I'm just going to take a little tiny dot and put that in there. I'm hyped. I'm ready for tonight, y'all. I mean, I don't know what I'm hyped about. I also brought some up. If you saw me, no, you probably didn't see me, but you saw me wiggling that toothpick. I always bring a little bit of paint up on the side. I put a little bit in at a time. It's really hard to take it away once you put it in. So make sure you are. What are you doing? Make sure you are being careful with that blue. And if I need more, then I can bring it down. And what do you know? I do need more. So what I put up on the side, I brought back down, and that's perfect. And I'm going to show you that. I'll bring the palette up, and I will show you what I just did. And then I'm going to hydrate. Because otherwise, yep, hydrate. Important. That's a cool red. And when we do start Carol's mottling and her lips, things like that, you'll see the difference between the primary red, that's what I'm using, the primary method, primary red, primary blue, primary yellow. And so you take a little bit of the blue, you put it in the red, that's cool red. If you're doing yellow into the red, that's called a warm red. So I'm going to take a thin brush, I'm going to stick that in my, I use distilled water to rinse the brushes just because I typically take them and then I use them immediately, right? I use them immediately right out of there, and if it has tap water on it, then you're probably gonna maybe run into a little bit of problems. I'm trying to get a really thin brush. Some of them get paint and they just stick. I love it when they curve up like that. Like, curve up for me. Torque that brush. Let's go. Torque that shit, brush. And I'm gonna take it up through this, in between every little tooth and along the gum line on the top of the teeth. I will probably have to do this a couple of times. Give me my toothpick. My fucking toothpick. Oh man. I hope everybody's having a good day though. I am having a fantastic day. I'm typically always having a fantastic day, you know? Why not? If you're not having a fantastic day, smile. I promise you it'll change everything. Even if you're like, no, this ain't doing shit, just keep the smile there. It doesn't matter. I promise you, give it like a couple minutes. Less. Maybe less. Typically for me, I'm like, this ain't working. And then like 25 seconds later, I'm like, hey, I'm in such a good mood now. What the fuck? But yeah. You put a smile on your face, it creates a chemical change in your body. My bad. Just
Um, told you I'm working on my mobiles. You don't have that. Okay. Again, I'm just going through those, or between those teeth and along the gum line with that red. Oh man, my lighting is garbage right now. This is why I can't paint at night. This is why I am going to start streaming with you. That's why I say we. We are going to be streaming tomorrow, paint from 10 o'clock, maybe earlier, until around 3 or 4 in the evening, early evening. So we can have that daylight. Good lighting is key to all of this as well. I'm working towards getting a ring light or that too, but a light that mimics sunlight. This one is not twerking for me. I gotta get another one. Oh, come here. So I'm gonna use this one. This one, I've had this one. It's the OG for 7 years. this this one, I've cut it myself down. It's the one that I did Genesis eyebrows with. Yeah, it's good shit. It is good. There we go. I was like, why is that other one not giving me what I was looking for? So I got a little bit on the tooth. I'm going to take a brush, probably like this filbert one. It's like a cat's tongue brush is what they call it. It's about the shape. And I'm going to push that. I really love these brushes and the mop brushes. They're some of my favorites. I haven't really found many of those really thin brushes like these. You can buy them. They say they're for hair and stuff, detailing, and there's too much going on. Those bristles, I can't with that. I gotta cut my shit up. And then I'm seeing something on those gums. Let's get that out of there. I said bye. This little one, man, his mama gonna love him. I love it when the people that I work with, they will do what is called a box opening, and they'll do a video of it, and they will post it online and tag me. I don't have very many people do that. I've had several, just not as many as I would have hoped. Some of them just don't have the opportunity, or they just so excited to see the paint and the realistic look and just waiting. Everything is just all for that realism. And that's what I find like so fascinating, how a little bit of paint and a paintbrush can change somebody's life, you know? That's why I do this too. I absolutely I paint canvas, but I haven't done that in a long time. I'm really good at drawing. from reference. Like if I have something in front of me and I see it, I can draw it. As far as paint goes, I put on the music, I put the canvas on the easel, and I just go to town. If I finish a painting, there's like 3 different ones underneath of it because I'm like, no, 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 type of shit, that type of shit. Are y'all with me tonight? Or are you here just for the art part on Apex? Ugh. Saying that name out loud, I'm like, are you sure, girl, that you want to do that shit? I might. Don't play. I did that for 3 years. Sometimes the gums around the tooth or above the tooth, rather, on the gum line is a little bit red, irritated maybe because they're teething and more teeth are coming in. Don't make it too red like I just did. Looks like he's bleeding for his gums. Oh man, I don't mean to laugh at that. That's not funny. Let this song hit. This is very relaxing. What do y'all do to relax? I'm extremely 420 friendly here in Colorado. Colorado style. That helps me relax too. I did have a medical card, but I have not renewed that. Not that it's not worth it. I just honestly am trying to find my balance in everything that I'm doing right now. Like, no sleep, gang. Don't wait to start your life tomorrow. Do it now, right? What we have going for us now is the present moment. There's nothing else after that or before that. I mean, it is, but it's in the past. It's no longer in your present moment. And if you cannot have any control over a situation, and this is the hardest thing I've had to learn, you have to let it roll off. Move on to your next moment and cross that bridge when it comes. That's the only thing that you can do, especially when it's so hard out there right now. Like even for doll artists, not only are there scammers and people are losing, their money, their time, their hearts are being like literally broke because of all of these scammers. But not only is it hard for us, it's hard for every single person out there. Like everything has been wild out there and everything is expensive. Like just for a loaf of bread and some milk and some like cheese or lunch meat, it's $20. It's like $7 or something wild out here for eggs, $6, $7, depending on where you go. Same thing with like hamburger, stuff like that. Pork, that shit is cheap. That's why I'm like, why is that only $5 and this shit over here is 20? Like, no thanks. Keep your pork. No, I'm just kidding. I do buy it, and I do eat. I do eat it, but I'm that type of person where if it's like I'm hungry and I start eating, and then I start thinking about what I'm eating, and then I'm like, we're done. We are definitely done at that point. Typically, that's me. I'm on this weird aversion to meat. Even eggs. I mean, if I'm hungry, I'm gonna eat that shit, and I'm just gonna shovel it and get it in my fucking stomach until I'm done. Like, you don't have to, like, gorge yourself or overeat or anything. Just, like, I used to do that shit all the time. I come from a trauma home, so just balancing my eating for the longest time was hard. Like, I was like, oh, I turned 18, I can eat what the fuck I want. I went crazy. I started working when I was 15. My very first job was working as a secretary, doing like payroll and stuff like that for the unemployment office. Or wait, I think that's what it was. I might be lies. I'll think about it for a minute, but I'm pretty sure it was the unemployment office. And then, so imagine that. I was proud as fuck. Hell yeah, let's go. I'm a secretary and doing payroll at 15. And then my next job was a fitness secretary for the YWCA, which that was a whole trip. That was a whole trip. Man, people are just different sometimes. Again, using that filbert brush because I was pushing some of that on. Man, his teeth looked like he was bleeding right there. I'm also going to take it where the gum and the tongue meet. There's a crease there that I've been wanting to kind of make that pop, as we like to say in the community. That makes that pop. I am definitely working on a different cam setup and a whole different setup just to upgrade my stream for you guys so you can see what I'm doing as I'm doing this. It's actually crazy the way it just brings it to life. Just the tiniest little thing that you do to, like, that's why I say the devil's in the details. You've got to be precise and accurate. A lot of people will, I said this last time we were painting, a lot of people will pull up pictures of real babies and they will paint that way. Me, sometimes I might do that. If I have a custom, and I totally botched my last custom, I'm repainting that. I actually have that coming up. It was my first heat set, little AA baby, and well, it's not that it looks bad or anything, but I missed the mark on the biracial aspect of it. So I went a little too red bone on that sweet baby. Kelsey, if you're watching this, you know what I'm talking about. She is a really good artist. Kelsey Williams on Facebook. She actually is amazing and gives me, she like my little ethnic admin. I told somebody, admins run my life. There is no way. Even my meditation admin, like, hey, whoa, you've been on the phone too long. You've got to stop for a minute and breathe. Okay. Thanks for that. Okay. think we're going to be done right now with this. I don't want to go crazy with all that red and pouncing that in there. If you feel like it's too red, you can go over that a little bit with maybe what I'm going to do. You can either use a really translucent or thin blue. I'm checking, I got this on the tooth. Good thing we still have some white, huh? Ow. I burnt the absolute piss out of my thumb, and now that it's healing, that's what you want to call it. It's like I burnt it so deep the skin is like cracking, and I can't feel anything on top of that burn. But oh boy, I just felt that. If you're newer and you're just going to be starting this paint, I just recommend, the best advice I can give is to use very, very thin layers. I'm not doing as thin as I should right now on the teeth, but I have been, and very translucent, and go very slow. There's no rush. People that you work with mostly are going to be absolutely amazing. And like I said, I don't know about everybody's people. My people, they're the best. After I finish, I'm putting a little more white on these teeth because I just feel like I'm seeing some pink, and I do not want that. Tomorrow when we paint, we'll do some last looks on Bliss before we varnish him up. And then I will be working on hair and paint as soon as I get him sealed up and it sits for 24 hours. I do not always observe the ergonomics of paint and the body, especially the eyes, and I should, and I will. I will do that as soon as I'm done painting. I'll stare at something 20 feet away, but I'll stare like 10 minutes or something. Not the same thing, I know. And I do this a lot. When I'm painting, I'll put my knees up and I'll put my feet up on my tippy toes. That's terrible. Don't do that. I had a tummy tuck a few years back and still working. Well, most recently started working PT to get that core strength back. Okay, Bliss. I'm going to put Bliss down. We're going to put Carol up in here on the camera. And all we're going to do is mix that paint and start the creases, the veins on her head. We'll do those. That way I can show you. I'm going to use this pen because It is a little bit of white right here. What I like to do if I don't have good lighting and I use fluorescent lighting, before I do any more paint on Bliss, I will put him in the sunlight. Check him out. Let me see. What was I doing? Hey Scrub. Hey OG Ruler. What's up? Thanks for the lurk. Sorry I didn't see that. I get so focused. I appreciate y'all being here. I see you. W. All of you. All of you. Okay, we're going to put Bliss to the side. And we are going to pick up Carol and sit her here so you could see. Carol Baskin, sorry, Kathy, if you're watching this, please don't take offense to that. I just be calling her that. I don't know. It just happens. Okay. I'm gonna rinse the brush because we might be using that one. Actually, we might be using the one that was not working for me. Put rinse that out because you don't want any red in your veins. That's not what we're going for. Carol, I think I'm gonna do strawberries and cream for her. Really pretty skin tone. I'll go more into that tomorrow. Today we're just going to go over what we're going to be working on and the veins. That blue layer that we did is just exactly what I needed. It did what I needed it to do. See there, I did not blend that in right there. Thought I was good, and this is what I was talking about. Like, hey, make sure you're blending, even though I wasn't. I was with a brush, but make sure you're blending. Put a little. If you see a spot, just make sure you put a little bit of water. Oh man, bring me all those repaints. I love doing a repaint. The before and after pictures. I hope I still have those before pictures. I will post those in the Discord. I thought when I started this that I knew everything. Okay, I know it all. Look at me, I'm going, there's a whole lot. There's reasons why certain lighting looks good when you're doing your portrait pictures, because it's the undertones, like, or certain clothing looks better on one than the other. It's the undertones that you're working with. That lighting, I promise I'm going to upgrade my lighting, okay? So, blue. I'm going to use blue, and I think I want her veins to be a little more like blue-green. Working with the primaries again, which is not what I was trying to do. Actually, we're not going to work with the primaries too much, only for mottling. I'm actually going to use the flesh tone colors with her that I have, because I do have some of those. A couple of those, and those I know. That's what I know. I am the type of person, some people cannot work with the flesh tones and still, they have a really hard time getting that realistic look with them with acrylics. I've been working with them long enough that I just know my shit, man. I just have had to do the research, and I just want everybody to be able to do what they want. You know what I mean? If this gives somebody a tip or a trick, or, like tips and tricks of the trade, I'm so glad that I did that for you. I hope that I'm helping you grow either as an artist or learn more as a collector. Okay. If you have any questions, you can get with me. My Discord should be attached. I don't know. I thought like 5 times I've had it attached. I have no idea what I'm doing. with that. But if you want it, I promise I'll get it to you. Okay, I've got just a drop of blue. And I am going to use antibead again. If I didn't have that, I would be using, I think it's over there. It's a retardant or something like that. I don't know the name. That's not. It just helps keep that paint moving and not letting it dry up. So like that red paint that we used for those creases, it does need water. White paint, water. I just put a little bit in the bottom of the little palette well because I will cover it and I'll use it tomorrow. And it'll be fine, and it'll just putting the tiny bit of water that I do in there tomorrow, it'll be exactly how it is before I put the water in it. The longer you work with it, you just start recognizing how the paint works with you. It used to always work against me, so I thought, but that way you don't waste your paint too. Save it. I cover it with best thing I can think of to use, stick that shit in a Ziploc bag. That's what I do. If I like gallon storage bag, stick your palette in there. And my little bowls that I use, because I have a ton of different, you saw the water drain out of that. I will put them in little sandwich baggies, and the paint will last forever in those with the acrylics. And that's what I love about those baggies, because I could not find anything. Like, it didn't matter if the container had a lid or not, if it was airtight or not. These mason jars, you leave the paint in here too long and it goes bad. I found that with like folk art, and you open that shit, it's like, what the fuck is that? Sorry, that's my mouth. But sometimes it has no filter. You'll find that. You'll see that when I play Apex later on. I don't mean to be that way. If I get too rowdy, I stop. I'll get off the game. I don't like to be that way. I'm not that type of person. But, when you turn the other cheek so many times, at what point do you start standing up for yourself, right? I'm trying to find a place to put this little yellow paint. Sometimes the paint will dry on the top and it's annoying because I'm wasting so much paint at that point. Okay. Make sure if you're doing veins right now and you're going to try that, make sure you have blending sponges for that shit. Because I'm telling you right now, it's a whole thing. You just need a really, 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 really tiny bit of that yellow. And sorry, I get distracted from everything. Just a couple of drops of water. I actually put a lot of blue, so I'm going to put 4 drops of water in mine. I use a baby bottle just because I've been doing that since day one. Literally day one. With Genesis Heat Set, I put the Mona Lisa paint thinner in there. And one time I bought some of that Mona Lisa paint thinner. It's supposed to be odorless. It's really not. And it's terrible for you. I'm finding out. But I bought one off of Amazon. The last one I ever bought, and it smells like somebody poured straight lighter fluid in there. I'm like, nah, that is not Mona Lisa. You are a lie, and you are a lie. So it's still sitting in my shit. I'm like, if I ever need to start a fire at the end of the world, I got the fucking lighter fluid. Let's go. Okay. Now I'm going to take, it did make it a bit watery, but that's fine because it's really, really pigmented. I'm going to take a blending sponge, and I'm going to take this brush, and you want to make sure you're not dragging too much paint. I like to just take it and like barely touch it to that. and I start up the back of the head, there are veining guides. Anyone would like one of those? I will put it in the Discord. I will figure that out. I just pull it up, immediately blot it off. Sometimes you're like, nobody's ever going to be able to see that. Well, I don't care. I still do it. It's a process for me. It brings it entirely to life. It needs the vein. So, of course, you make the little fork in the vein so you split them off. I come up the back of the head. I'll show you in just a second. Hopefully, I can get that on camera. Because you want them so where, if you're playing a game and it's like, hey, we're about to, the brand new game, tell me if this is too dark or too light. You want this too light. You want this almost invisible. It's got to look like it's underneath the skin. Some people do theirs last. I do mine first because that's just my way. I don't know. That's why. Tomorrow, bullshit. Tomorrow I will put those blue undertones as well. Since we are working with the blue, it's a lot. This is one of those that you do those feather touches. Just the light, 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 light. I cannot stress that enough. It's so light you might not even see it on camera. But the thing about it is, why I like to add everything, every little step, is because it creates that depth that you need underneath the skin. That's why when I say she's going to get mottling, I used to tell everybody she's getting her circulation, which is veining, mottling, all of that. It gives the skin depth, it gives it texture, and it's cool as shit. I'm not going to lie. I know shit is creepy because there's a whole vibe around dolls in general, but I don't know. I don't find it creepy. I like babies. They're cool. I mean, well, come get your kid. Like, come get your baby. I'll hold him, but or her. She got a dirty diaper. You gotta come get this baby. As long as they being cute, they could be. I used to be different. Like, give me that baby. Let me hang out, or I'll babysit. I'll do all of that. I still do, which is why I do this. Obviously, I like to have my veins go up over the head and then branch out a little bit and come back in, and then I will connect them as well. It's a whole thing. It's like a whole ass map on the head. I don't typically map them like that on the limbs at all. I have my specific places that I like them to show up. I totally forgot to hydrate. Gotta do that. This poor baby came to me with like eyeshadow powders or something like that. It looked like eyeshadow. It had glitter in it. I know you can use powders, but it's pigmented powders. The face area is different for me. Some people like their veins to come down into the forehead and around the eye, in the eye area. Sometimes I'm like, no, we don't need to see all that. because I do the little capillaries, sometimes on the cheeks, definitely on the eyes for the newborns, closed eyes. There's a whole lot that goes into these little suckers. I love every part of it except doing creases. I did bring that vein down just a tiny bit from the forehead. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you guys that. No, you cannot see it. So it's the same though with the pictures. You can barely see any of that. But that's why I've learned to do things different with my pictures. I wish I had a photographer to do that for me. I would love that. Like, hey, I mean, I went to school for that, for photography, but I use it more for personal, and I don't have all the equipment, obviously, that I would need. So I'm at the point where I'm ready to take these little babies um, to a photographer, like to Olin Mills. I was trying to think of something. There's this little spot here, and just is that there, you know? That. Sorry, guys, I'm tired a little bit, and I gotta turn it up for Apex or whatever the fuck. I don't even know. By the time I'm done with this, who knows what I'm gonna be playing? But I am gonna be streaming games here in just a little bit. I gotta stop in and say hello to some of my people. Not that I gotta, I want to. It's a good ass time. Find your vibe tribe. That's what the saying is going. Push dog sleep if you want that vibe tribe. We can do that. My little chatters can be vibrators. That's facts. That's what I was. That's what you use. I need some more of this. When I get to a point, sometimes I'm like, oh, I like it, my paint, my blue a little bit thicker just because I know how to control that quickly. But if you're a first time painter or any of that, I don't recommend it. It's very translucent and blend, 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 blend. I cannot say that enough. And go super slow. Take your time. I made a little one that I do not like. We've got to go. That's what I like this pen for. It's a little eraser tool. Me. Okay. I really wish you guys could see that. That looks really freaking cool. Oh, you can a little bit. Do you see the blue coming up? That's part of the vein. That's the vein. And it's really thin. Like I said, looking like it's under the skin. That I can see where that's a little creepy. And make sure you're doing them really thin because you cannot cover them. You're just going to add to it. Anytime you're adding another layer, you're adding to that paint. So, okay. I'm going to map those really quick. And just bring them together. This one's going to have painted hair. This is the one that we're going to learn to paint hair. Hey, we're learning together. I've only painted like two or three doll heads. But I've rooted tons. I'm gonna make another little one right here that branches out off of that with those little, you know, what veins do, right? They just keep on going. Okay. Okay, that's awesome. To me, the whole process, just like, I love that. That's my favorite part. I say that about everything except creases. Yeah, them creases. I don't know what to do with that. I do not know what to do with that other than piss and moan. Did I miss something? Hey, Master Chachi, what's up? How is your day going? Scrub, if you're still here, how is your day going? OG Ruler, how's your day going? I appreciate y'all so much being here. You don't know how much that means to me. Like I said, my people are the best. I don't know about anybody else's people. My people are the fucking best. Okay, I think we are just about ready to wrap this up. I have got to go make some chicken tacos real quick, and then chicken tacos, y'all. I know I'm late on that Taco Tuesday. It's Thursday. It's gonna be Taco Thursday for me. Thursday. Let's go. Hey yo, let's go. You won't hear me Ayo all day on Apex. Ayo, what the fuck? Ayo, no, what the fuck? That's me on Apex all day. So we're wrapping this up. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate the chatters. You're fishing? Oh, you're fishing in Fallout 76. I'm like, dude, how are you fishing in Fallout 76? I love me some Fallout. I was looking for my t-shirt today, actually, that says Fallout because I can fuck with that shit. Let's go. I'm gonna rinse that out. Everything's got water, so I want to make sure everything's mixed up good before I go putting it up, because if I don't, then we have to start all over and we just wasted all that product. So I'd be mad about that shit. Okay, everything looks good. I'm gonna stick it, click it or tick it, and stick it, or tick it in this motherfucker. I'm not using what I told you I was gonna use, but it's similar because I don't feel like going in the kitchen. I have 101 sandwich baggies in my thing, and I ripped them up just right and put it over that shit, and it'll be fine. And I promise you, and that's what I do with my other things too. So, if y'all ready to fuck with me on some games, let's go. Let's do that. I appreciate you being here, and I will see you soon. And we will be back tomorrow to paint from 10 o'clock a.m. until 3 or 4 p.m. Colorado time, Mountain time. That's the time I'm talking about. Y'all live in the future anywhere else. I don't know. Maybe I'm in the future for you. But I love y'all. Y'all are a win. Thank you so much. I just can't say that enough. How much I appreciate everything. Have a good day. Have a good evening. I'll see you soon. I will do that. Hopefully we will see each other soon.
We are in.